Hey, you just came from practice?
Yeah, where else? So, you going to Boston to visit Louise?
I wish, but he won't let us. He won't let anyone in this family see him in jail.
I'm so sorry. Do you have any idea when he's going to get out?
Not yet. I still can't believe Sheridan Crane is the one who put him in there.
Well, you know, it'll work itself out somehow. It will.
I know. As if Louise would ever hurt anyone intentionally. I just hope Louise and Sheridan get past all this by the time Ethan and I are married.
What did you say?
It's gonna happen, Whitney. Sooner than you think. Today is the day Ethan realizes he is in love with me.
You know, Gwen, you're the reason I lost my squash game this morning.
I wasn't even there.
And that's the trouble. I was thinking about how much I missed you instead of having my head in the game.
I miss you too.
I can't wait to see you tonight. I'm going to pick you up myself at the airport.
Ethan, I have some bad news.
Tell me you're still coming.
I wish I could, Ethan, but I have to stay in New York a little while longer. Look, if I leave now, I could blow the whole deal, and you know how hard I've been working on it. Ethan, I still want to have my career even after we're married.
I know, and I'm proud of you. Oh, what if I come down there? You know, have a late dinner, sleep in tomorrow, pick up a box lunch at Les Côtes Basques, and then go to Central Park?
Oh, it sounds like heaven, but I can't. Ethan, I'm going to be working around the clock for the next few days. I'm really sorry, sweetheart.
Yeah, so am I.
You're not mad, are you?
No, I'm just disappointed. But, you know, you take all the time you need.
Thank you, darling. Call me tonight?
You bet. But it won't be the same as being in bed with you.
I know. We've got a whole lifetime of that ahead of us.
I just wanted to start now.
I love you.
I love you too. Bye. She any good?
Oh, hey, what's up, Ethan? Yeah, man, this lady's better than good, bro. I met her completely by chance last night. Turns out, she's holding the key to my entire past, man. She knows who my moms and my pops are. And I'm gonna find out today.
This is too good to be true. So you can tell me about both my parents?
Yes. I can tell you about your mother and your father. Yes, Chad, I can tell you about your mother and the father. The question is whether I should.
All right, go away if you're going to keep hounding me about Sheridan and me being in love.
That's not why I'm here. I have some good news for you.
Oh, yeah? Did you bring me a home-cooked breakfast instead of that jail slop you've been feeding me?
Better than that. You're being released. You can go back to Harmony.
How the hell did that?
Someone convinced the judge that you weren't a flight risk after all, so he changed his mind and he set bail.
How high?
From what I understand, very. But somebody must like you. They posted the whole thing.
Now my family's barely making ends meet as it is.
I didn't get a name, but I can make an educated guess. Sheridan Crane's got a pretty fat wallet and a motive.
Forget it. I'd rather rot in jail than accept her guilt money. You know I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her.
Give the girl a break, Luis. This is probably Sheridan's way of trying to make amends. I mean, she wants to apologize to you.
She say that in so many words?
Hey, buddy. It's time to bust you out of this palace. Sam paid your bail and sent me to pick you up.
Calm down, Father.
Don't you dare patronize me.
Perhaps you don't realize the seriousness of your lapse. Let me translate from just one of today's papers.
That won't be...
Sheridan Crane, daughter of billionaire business tycoon Alistair Crane, has apparently fled Paris with the help of an American policeman after attempts were made on her life. It has been reported that Mademoiselle Crane was the target of a powerful French drug ring. Did you get all that, Julian? Your sister's name bandied about in the same paragraph as low-life drug dealers? This is unacceptable. Highly unacceptable.
I know all about that. I've already called off the American press.
Too little, too late. Our name has been splashed all over the world news. It's a disgrace. To make matters worse, both Sheridan and Luis are back in the States in close proximity once again.
Father, don't worry. Sheridan will never find out what we did to keep them apart.
God help us if she learns that we hired someone to impersonate Luis. Everything we've worked for could be lost.
I would hold the hand of the one who could lead me places, and kiss the lips of the one who could sing so sweet. And I would fly on the wings of a bird I knew could take me high as breathe in, breathe out. You keep me alive. You are the fire burning inside of me. You are my passion for life.
Okay, now what are you up to, Teresa?
It's the perfect plan to make Ethan realize he's in love with me.
Give it up, okay? Yes, Ethan is going to get married soon, but it's going to be to Gwen Hotchkiss, not you.
Huh. Well, remind me to thank you for all your support at my rehearsal dinner. That's if I invite you to the wedding. And I think you've been my best friend since kindergarten.
I am still your best friend, Teresa. That's why I can't stand by and watch your heart get broken again.
But it won't be. I mean, even Chad thinks I have a chance with Ethan.
So you take Chad Harris's opinion over mine?
Well, why not? I mean, he knows Ethan pretty well by now, and he's seen the two of us together.
Oh, please, he doesn't know the first thing about love, okay? His only experience has been one-night stands, which hardly makes him an authority.
Well, he knows more than you do. And I think if you gave him a chance, you both might learn something about love.
Okay, you're whacked, all right? How many times do I have to tell you? I don't want anything to do with Chad Harris. Besides, he's leaving Harmony. He's probably already gone.
Oh, that's your loss, Whitney.
No. Good riddance to bad rubbish.
Well, I think you're just relieved that you won't have to fight your feelings every time you see him.
I don't have to fight my feelings for Chad Harris, Teresa, because I don't have any.
If I had my doubts about fate before, I definitely believe in it now, man. I mean, I never would have met this woman if I hadn't been in the mood to hear some jazz music last night.
So you're saying her father's name was Chad Harris?
Yeah. She said she loaned his name to a friend of hers. Now, that's gotta be my mom's. Now, she said she's going to tell me her name today. Hopefully, my pops, too. Man, all these months are nothing but dead ends, and suddenly, I get to hear the whole story.
I'm so happy for you, Chad.
Thanks, man, thanks. I mean, you know, it's not like I'm expecting any teary-eyed reunion or something like that, like you see on Oprah. It's just to know who they are, man. That would mean everything.
I'll go make your release official. Be back in a minute.
Sam would have come himself, but he got tied up at the station.
I don't know how to thank him for posting my bail. Where did he come up with that much money?
He used his house as collateral.
Damn it. I hate that he had to do that. You know, this should have never happened in the first place, and it wouldn't have if it wasn't for Sheridan.
Hey, don't go there, okay? You know how I feel about her.
Yeah, just hope you know what you're getting yourself into.
Well, if last night was a preview, then I'll be more than glad to get into it.
Last night?
After I drove her back to Harmony, we stopped off at that jazz joint downtown for a drink.
Good for you.
Oh, but it gets better. when I drove her home, she gave me a kiss goodnight. I mean, it wasn't the first time, but, let's just say we took it to another level. Very intense.
You know, you're right. There's no point in us talking about Sheridan.
Hey, I just want to be straight with you about her. I think that this time Sheridan and I really have a shot. You sure you're okay with that?
Like I said, it's your life, man.
Everything's in order. You are free to go.
Well, Tina, it's been,
I know. Real. Hey, just for the record, I do have pretty good instincts. And I know when two people have feelings for each other, no matter what they say. If I were you, I'd find out what went wrong between you and Sheridan before she left Harmony and took off for Paris. Otherwise, you could be missing out on the love of your life.
Julian, are you there?
Sheridan just walked in. Father, you startled me.
Welcome home, my darling.
Hello, Father.
It's so good to see you.
I should have known.
Let me explain.
There's no need. I heard what Father said. That everything you've worked for could be lost. You were talking about all the shame that I brought down on the family name, weren't you?
I won't lie to you, darling. These latest antics of yours have upset me greatly.
You know I hate publicity of any sort. To find out that my own daughter was involved with some seedy drug dealer.
What on earth were you thinking?
I had no idea that Jean-Luc was involved with drugs.
That's my point. You're an abysmal judge of character, my darling. Now look what you've dragged the family into.
Is bad publicity more important to you than the fact that your own daughter was almost killed? I would have been too if Luis hadn't flown all the way to Paris and saved my life. Who'd have guessed that he'd give more of a damn about my life than my own brother or father? It's great to be home.
She's gone.
So I gathered.
At least she didn't hear us talking about the Luis imposter.
She might as well have. It's clear she's begun to soften towards Luis. If they come in contact again, it's only a matter of time before they sort it all out. And she realizes he was never using her at all.
I'll make sure they're kept apart.
Don't make promises you can't keep, Julian.
Why do you keep saying that I like Chad? Look, when I fall in love with someone, he's going to be someone more like my dad, who's dependable and hardworking, and who has the same values that I have. Chad is just so not my type.
Wait, you're not experienced enough to know what your type is. Besides, Chad definitely has a thing for you.
Oh, yeah, right. It's called Let's Give Whitney a Hard Time because she's an arrogant, stuck-up snob who doesn't know what she wants.
Okay. Do I have to squirt you with this to wake you up to what anybody else can see? I'll bet if you give Chad the slightest opening, he won't leave Harmony. He'll stay in town to be near you.
Well, he's not going to get the slightest opening for me, okay? So, with any luck, I've seen the last of Chad Harris, which is so okay with me.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! No. Love ya.
Hey, who knows? You may get a better reception than you think. Your folks might be looking for you, too.
It's a nice idea, man. I doubt it. For starters, it'd be a miracle if my real mother and father were still together. Chances are they probably weren't even married, man. What probably happened was she got knocked up from a one-night stand and freaked out about it. Maybe she didn't even tell my old man she was pregnant.
Right, anything's possible.
Yeah, well, where I come from, man, it's more than just possible, right? It's an old story.
Well, it doesn't have to be your story. Maybe they loved each other and they wanted to keep you, but something got in the way.
Yeah, like what?
Like life. You know, maybe one of them was married to someone else and they couldn't get out of the marriage.
I guess it happens.
You know, imagine being already married to someone and you realize the person you're supposed to spend the rest of your life with is someone else.
Yeah. Sounds like hell on earth, man.
Yeah. And then you have to tough it out with someone out of obligation. And the whole time you long for someone you really love. Talk about a human tragedy.
Now, hold on a second, man. You still talking about my folks? Are you talking about yourself?
Thanks for picking me up in Boston, Hank. The backyard never looked so good.
Yeah, it's definitely an improvement over your last digs. Hey, why don't you put that bag away and we'll go grab a bite to eat downtown?
No, you know what? I'm going to head straight to the station. I missed enough work as it is already.
There's something Sam wanted me to tell you on the drive back, but...
Well, look, I mean, if it's about him posting my bail, I'll pay him back as soon as the checks start rolling in.
Well, that's kind of the problem. It could be a while.
What are you saying?
Well, you can't go back on duty until the charges against you are dropped.
Yeah, but I didn't kidnap Sheridan.
I know. You know that, I know that, and Sam knows that. But it's still up to a judge.
Damn it.
Until then, you've been put on suspension and without pay.
Oh, that's great. Now, how's my family supposed to pay next month's mortgage?
Well, I'll be happy to spot you until you get back on your feet.
Oh, no offense, Hank, but since when are you flush enough to pay your own way? Much less mine.
I did a couple of good jobs when I was out of town. I'm sitting pretty good right now.
Oh, thanks. Come on, man. I'm not taking money from anyone right now, including you.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. You've helped me out more times than I can count. Just take it.
No, just forget about it. You know, I'll find a way to make ends meet. Whatever you're doing right now, I mean, it looks pretty good. Needs an extra guy?
You wouldn't like it, man. It's not your thing.
All right.
What the hell are you doing? You haven't even been in the house yet.
Well, I promised Mom that I'd hire someone to help out in the yard. Since it looks like I'm going to have more time than money on my hands right now, I might as well get started.
Lighten up, Luis.
What is that saying? No good deed goes unpunished, huh? Would you remind me of that next time I decide to fly to Paris on my own expense and save some spoiled little rich girl's life?
You know, that was your choice, man. Don't go blaming her for that.
Not to mention, how am I going to afford an attorney to fight this bogus charge? I don't get it, Hank. What did I ever do to Sheridan to make her want to ruin my life?
Don't worry, Father. Sheridan will never know the lengths to which we've gone to break up her and Louise. Back so soon. I just gotten over your last bit of vitriol.
I wanted to apologize.
Ah, this is a first.
I should never have expected you and Father to show any concern for me. The Crane family name has always been far more important than any real-life person to the two of you.
Oh, wait, don't leave. We hardly ever get a chance to talk. Just the two of us. Sit. Oh, Father hung up a few minutes ago.
I can't imagine anything that you would have to say that I would want to hear.
It might surprise you to know that Father and I both care about you very much.
It would more than surprise me. I wouldn't believe it.
It's just, well, you know how Father is. It's hard for him to express his feelings, but it doesn't mean he doesn't love you just as much as I do.
Give me a break.
All right. Don't believe me, but I am worried about you.
I'll bite. Why?
Well, we've talked about your propensity for getting involved with the wrong men before, and I detect detected earlier when you were here a softening on your part towards Luis.
He saved my life, Julian. And since you love me so much, I would think that you would appreciate him a bit more, too.
Well, of course I'm glad he helped you out in Paris. But let's face it, it's obvious. It's out of some twisted hero complex, not any emotional connection to you. Otherwise, he'd hardly have kidnapped you.
You don't need to tell me what he did. I mean, I was so furious with him myself that I made him pay for his actions. More than he should have had to.
Oh, that's what I mean by a softening.
Pressing charges against Luis was an impulsive overreaction. I would take it back if I could.
Oh, surely you don't mean that. I've told you from the beginning that Luis would turn out to be nothing but a liar and a user, that he never cared a whit about you.
Yes, you did, didn't you? You warned me about Luis before I even told you about the phone call. How did you know? How did you know that he was using me before I even did?
It's so strange that this would be happening now after all these years. I want to tell you the truth about yourself, Chad Harris. Everyone deserves to know his own birthright. It's just people are going to be hurt. People are going to be real hurt.
Sounds like you've been thinking about what it'd be like to end up with the wrong woman.
What are you getting at, Chad? You saying I'm having doubts about marrying Gwen?
Hey, man, look, I ain't saying anything, okay? I'm just asking a question, that's all. And it sounds to me like you thought about the idea.
Absolutely not. You know, I loved her. I've never even considered being with anyone else.
Well, maybe that's the problem.
Look, Chad, I like you. But you are so off base here, and I don't appreciate it.
Hey, look, I'm sorry, man. It's none of my business.
You got that right. I mean, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard. I mean, I don't even know any other women.
What about Teresa?
What?
Don't go jumping on me for this, okay? But I've seen the two of you together, man. I mean, you laugh at each other's dumb jokes. Half the time, you finish each other's sentences. I mean, to people who don't know you, y'all look like a couple. Are you gonna look me in the face and you're gonna tell me that you've never considered the thought that you just possibly might be in love with Teresa?
You know, as long as I live, I'll never understand it. I saved Sheridan's life, and she turns around and tries to destroy mine.
Just chill out, okay?
And how could she justify pressing kidnapping charges against me? Come on, Hank. She must have said something to you about why she's so hell-bent on ruining my life.
So how do you really feel about my best buddy, huh?
I don't know. I guess I'm more confused than anything. I just wish I knew why he kissed me. I wish that he knew how sorry I am for having him put in jail. Do you think that maybe you could talk to him? I mean, is that asking too much?
For you, nothing's ever too much. Sorry, man, I can't help you out. But when I talked to her, she was still pretty ticked off at you for dragging her onto the plane.
You see, that's the other thing. Sheridan had it in for me before she even went to Paris. Now, we were getting pretty tight. And then she just hauls off, slaps me across the face. I mean, that doesn't make sense.
So why get so worked up about it? It's obvious that you two just don't click. You're like oil and water.
You know, even Tina, that cop from Boston, she asked me what went down between us. She said I must have done something pretty bad for Sheridan to hate me so much.
She never said anything to me.
You know, when Sheridan first shut me out, I asked her over and over again what I'd done to upset her. Why she changed her mind about me. She never did give me a straight answer. She said that I already knew. You know, maybe Tina's right. Maybe I ought to ask her again, pin her down this time.
I wouldn't do that.
Why not? It's like there's a piece missing from the puzzle.
Look, you already know how she feels about you. So why keep going back there, especially when she doesn't mean anything to you, like you say?
Yeah, well, maybe before. Now she's messing with my livelihood. She's messing with my family's well-being.
Well, what you need is a lawyer. You know, somebody that can handle any kind of communication between you two. You're just too close to it.
Maybe you're right. Maybe I ought to leave it alone.
I'm just telling you what I would do. Now, since you don't have to work, why don't we go grab a bite to eat?
Well, I got too much to do around here.
All right. Suit yourself, man. I'll talk to you later.
See ya.
See ya.
Still don't get it. What do I do to make sure it didn't turn against me?
Why would you be so sure that Luis would turn out to be just like all the other men I've been involved with?
Well, it hardly took a crystal ball, Sheridan. Luis Lopez Fitzgerald is hardly our sort.
Oh, Julian, you know how much I hate that kind of snobbery.
It's far more than the class distinction. Luis has had a vendetta against our family for years.
Because of his father's disappearance.
Well, whatever. And his finger-pointing is totally unfounded, but as far as I can make out, he spent the better part of his life looking for some way to exact revenge against the big bad Cranes.
I know his problems with our family go way back.
But he never got close enough to hurt us until you let him. Your association with him provided the perfect opportunity to pay us all back for our imagined transgressions with a vengeance.
You think he's had this planned out all along?
Oh, of course. And the most pathetic part is his two-bit scheme worked. He actually seems to have hurt you.
We went through a lot together. I got to know him. In fact, he even admitted to having been wrong about hating our family all these years.
But you bought that?
He was very sincere. You know, another thing. If his intentions were to just hurt me, then why did he go so far out of his way to save me so many times? You know, it doesn't make any sense.
Sheridan, it makes perfect sense. He was building your trust and your affection so that when the right moment came, the disillusionment would be that much greater.
After I found out, why did he follow me all the way to Paris to save me again?
I've given that some thought myself. I believe that if you hadn't had him arrested the moment you stepped off that plane in Boston, that he might very well have ransomed you for money.
Oh, that's ridiculous. Luis would never do anything like that.
Well, you're the one that had him charged with kidnapping. And how could you possibly pretend to know what Luis would or would not do? As I recall, you felt that he was incapable of using you. You and I both learned the hard way that he most certainly was.
If I hadn't heard it with my own ears and seen it with my own eyes, I never would have believed.
But you did, Sheridan. Never forget that you did.
Are you all right?
No, I'm fine. Everything's fine. You're so wrong, pal.
We'll see about that, my brother.
So, Teresa, why did you want to meet me here?
I had the best idea for the wedding.
Are you going to tell me or are you going to make me guess?
Nope. I am going to show you. Come on.
Just need a change.
Well, I'm surprised to see you here.
Why is that?
Well, I thought you said you were leaving Harmony.
Yeah, well, changed my mind. Looks like I'll be sticking around for a while.
But you seem so determined to go.
Yeah, well, that was before I realized there's a woman here that I can't walk away from.
Okay, you got me here. So what is it you want to show me?
It's right there.
That's it?
Isn't it wonderful? I thought it would be the most perfect way to leave the church after the wedding ceremony.
Oh, Teresa, I don't know.
Well, don't say no until you hear more about it. I think it would be very romantic.
It's nice. I mean, I pictured Gwen and me leaving the ceremony in one of our family's limousines.
Yeah, but you can do that anytime. I think your wedding day should be special. Something you remember forever and always. Come here. Sit down. Relax. And close your eyes. And imagine you're riding off with the woman you love to begin your new life together.
Maybe I hear someone outside calling me. Did I hear the telephone ring silently? Oh, and one night can last forever. One night can last forever. Oh, and one night can last forever. All alone.
How could I have been so wrong about him? He acted like he really cared.
I trust you heard every word of my brilliant performance, Father. If Sheridan is softening toward Louise, I reinforced her pathetically low self-esteem to the point where she's convinced anew that Louise was only using her from the start. We have nothing to be afraid of.
If you believe that, you're a bigger fool than I feared, Julian.
I beg your pardon.
Your sister is nowhere as gullible as you think. Moreover, it's obvious she still has romantic leanings towards her Latino lover boy. Now that they're both back in harmony, we have everything to be afraid of. And everything to lose.
And that's why I gotta find out who I really am. And find out who my real parents are. Cause it's like I got this hole inside. This emptiness.
Ah, poor kid. He deserves to know. What if the cost is too high? Maybe things are just better left in the past. I don't want anyone to get hurt. Yeah, I want to buy a bus ticket out of Harmony.
So you're staying in Harmony because of a woman?
Yeah, that's right. I didn't sleep a wink last night. Just can't seem to get her out of my mind.
Look, Chad, I know we've had our misunderstandings, and I'm so sorry if I ever hurt your feelings, but I'm just going to be upfront with you. I'm just not interested in you that way.
You say what?
Right now.
Oh, you thought I was talking about you?
But you said that...
You know, for an itty-bitty thing, you got a monster-sized ego, you know that? I mean, you think I'd turn my entire life around for you?
Well, I just naturally... you said it was because of a woman.
That's right, a woman, not a girl. Okay, look, let me tell you something, all right? If I ever let you get to me that way, you'd know it. all right? I ain't like Ethan, who can't get his act together enough to see that he's fallen in love with Teresa.
Okay.
All right, where did you pick up the idea that I'd ever be head over heels for you?
All right, look, forget it, okay?
Hey, that's okay. I just figured it out. You think I got feelings for you because you got feelings for me. Ain't that right, Miss Thing?
Keep your eyes closed.
What for?
Trust me, okay? Now imagine it's a beautiful spring day. The air is clear and filled with the fragrance of fresh flowers. The sun is shining down on you and the woman you love, the woman you've just married. And now you're riding off into your life together, holding hands, happy and safe and full of hope because you know life is exactly the way it's supposed to be.
I can see it.
You turn to your bride, you take her in your arms, and you kiss her. Like magic, rose petals flutter down from the sky. It's the most romantic kiss you've ever shared. You're kissing the woman you love, the woman you want to spend the rest of your life with.
Concerns me that Sheridan is questioning what she overheard our Luis imposter say.
I took care of that, Father.
If your sister gets it into her head to tell Luis what she thinks he said, they'll figure out what we've done. And they'll be back together before you can quote the Dow Jones Daily Average.
I'll keep them apart, Father.
I hope so. If Luis uncovers one of our secrets, he won't stop until he's uncovered them all. And in the process, destroy our whole family.
Laura, are you home? I need to talk to you.